Hey guys,
Yep.
today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going over all of Nintendo's main consoles, and I thought I'd recruit some help with my good friend H.
How you doing?
I'm good, dude. Which one do you want to start off with?
Should we start with the
Okay,
GameCube?
GameCube it is. I think the GameCube was probably Nintendo's most creative console. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be fair, it had a handle.
it's,
And what more of a console could you do with that?
it's like the precursor to the Switch.
Yeah, it was originally designed to be portable.
That's a terrifying fact.
It's very true.
Because I think it's probably like an A tier because we had all of the major franchises. We didn't miss any because we had an F-Zero and a Metroid.
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, it was the last. It was really the first console that brung out Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion. I mean, it brung Samus into the
Yeah, we got
3D
Metroid. We got Metroid
spectrum.
Prime. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna stick.
those may be really graphically
It
intense
was
of a
pretty
game.
intensive. They
It's really
Retro
good.
Studios worked some real magic with that game's graphics. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah, it is amazing.
I'm gonna stick it in. I think it's a B tier console.
Yeah, I'd say B tier because to be fair, it didn't sell as well, say, as the SNES or the
Or like the
N64.
Wii.
It was kind of one of. Well, oh, be fair, the Wii
The Wii had
it was something
legs.
that anybody.
Let's be honest. The Wii just
Yeah,
ran, and
it did. It no, I didn't even need a
it
leg. It
did. It
flew
was
straight off.
literally printing money.
It
So
was. It's like selling a new Zelda game. You know you're
yeah,
gonna
it's
get
like,
money.
up guys, we've released the new batch of Wii's. Prepare to be rich.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you know.
Ready?
So
Yeah,
the
I agree.
Wii console. Where would you put the Wii console? I'm not too sure on this one.
I put it. I put it as an A tier. It may have been good, but it was great because of the simplicity of it. Anybody, not even people who play just Nintendo games, could jump in and play it
Yeah, it really
anytime.
brung the family
Yeah,
together to play together. You know. So
yeah,
I think A tier because it did have a lot of shovelware, and that's probably what keeps it from S tier, in my opinion.
yeah. I'll agree with that one.
But that's just yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
I mean,
think about the SNES?
the SNES.
SNES.
Well, I mean, the SNES, the original one, I would say that was quite
It
revolutionary.
was.
But it was, but it was in the time between Nintendo and Sega.
Yeah, that was like the real like Genesis does what Nintendo don't era. Really, this is when the competition was getting fierce.
It was, but it was two companies playing it out, trying to see who is best.
And
I put that.
yeah,
I mean, it brung out a lot of new games. It upgraded them. I mean, just look at Super Mario World. Didn't have much to go off, and it made quite an amazing game. I mean, even like Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's
That
Island. That
that
thing's
was a
graphics
masterpiece.
still hold up today.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, you go from Super Mario World to Yoshi's Island. There is an amazing graphical jump
I'd
between
say
them two
it's like
games.
generational, to be honest. Like a generational leap.
Yeah,
So
I will agree on
I
that one.
think this is probably the first S tier console.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely S
Definitely
tier.
S tier.
I mean, it's in its name.
But here's the question: what about its American version?
The
The
American
American
version.
version.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much the same, but the only thing about it, it was designed to not be able to have glasses or cups on top or whatever, really, as there was so much backlash to Nintendo from the original NES. It was used as a mini coffee table, and that's why they have the little bumpy surfaces on there. It was to prevent people from using it as a cup holder or a
Yeah, because
coaster.
I reckon I could, even now, I could fit on the European version. I reckon I could still fit on the Mini a glass of water.
Yeah,
So I think that maybe
you
the
probably could,
American
honestly.
version is the better designed out the two of them.
Yeah, the better design out of both of them, I'd say. Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that there. I don't know if you
Yeah.
agree with that.
I would agree with that, honestly. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, it both sprung out and played pretty much the same games. There's a few gaps in the library in places, but they did play the same games and they did still have the same leap and yeah.
I agree with that one.
I'm going to stick the SNES top loader though down in E tier.
Yeah, because that
It
didn't really do
it
well
looks
at all.
terrible, and it's missing things.
It doesn't have the personality of the original.
Yeah, that's
one.
the sort of thing that you expect to find plugged into a keyboard and a big box monitor in like the office. It doesn't
Yeah.
have any charm,
Yeah.
you know?
Doesn't let you think going, hey, come play me. I have wonderful games. Doesn't really have that.
Okay, moving on from being mad at the SNES top loader. Where
Yeah.
where
Bim.
where should we put the NES top loader?
I would say that did have personality, but it's just too
It was
small.
small.
But it didn't have the personality of you put that in, you put your cartridge in the console, and you shoved it in, and you had to have that satisfying click, and then you close it up. Wasn't really that. And
No one ever closes this damn door. Yeah, that's true. But at the end of the day, that click, the satisfying click of pressing the cartridge down, caused technical issues. It was a brittle machine.
probably, and that's the reason why they had to put that down there.
I'm gonna say it's slightly better than the SNES top loader.
I'd say it's slightly better than the SNES top loader because it did still have, might not have the personality, but it did still have the functionality.
Yeah, there was a
there.
reason to buy that over the original.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So where, if we put that there, I think we're gonna have to put the original NES in S tier because without it, the gaming
Yeah.
industry as we know it would still be in a pit, lying down, cuddling up to Atari. So
Yeah, we'd be
yeah,
nowhere.
so it's a good job that got released. Honestly,
I agree. I mean, if that didn't go there, imagine where the world would be then. We wouldn't have all the industry today we have today with all movies
yeah, you know,
and all different pop culture genres.
and this channel would have never been created.
Yes.
So honestly, I think that's an S tier console.
That is.
But is
Definitely. Plus, it was the first mainline one in
yeah, it was. It was
America.
the first time that something like that ever came out, and the game quality is just better than anything that came out before then.
Even though they were
Yeah,
limited.
even it was incredibly limited, but they were clever how they made the games. So I think it's. I don't think it's as good as the SNES, but I think it's an S tier console because of what it did.
I agree. 'Cause, I mean, you had games like they brought out Zelda, Mario,
Yeah, amazing
or say,
games.
It's like
Like honestly, I don't know where gaming would be without it. It introduced game saving and the D-pad and all that sort of stuff. Really,
and even the ergonomic design of the controller to fit in your
it
hands.
did. Even though it wasn't the best ergonomic design, but it was still somewhat ergonomic. You know, and it was they obviously did something right because Sega and all the other companies copied it.
Yeah.
Intellaview made something, and then
Oh, sorry.
everyone just got mad at them till they made their version of the NES controller.
Yeah.
I got one for you. Wii Mini, E-tier. Screw
Yeah,
it.
definitely. That was it was awful because I mean, not just looking like a McDonald's burger box,
That's a very good point.
took away loads of features like online play, Netflix, or anything like that, Wi-Fi connection, playing with your friends. I mean, it took away loads of features that the original one needed, and it even took away GameCube support. But then again, the second redesign of the
Yeah,
Wii
that
did
wasn't
take
a
away
new
those-
thing that had been taken out. That was obviously moving away.
Yeah.
But I still
Yeah.
think they missed a ship. I was watching a YouTuber, and sorry whoever made this, but someone pointed out that the Wii Mini came out just as like Fire Sticks and stuff were coming out. So Nintendo really missed an opportunity because they could have had like Netflix and Hulu and everything on there, and then marketed it as
Yeah.
a streaming box that could also play Wii games, and that would have sold gangbusters.
That would have sold.
I would have
loads.
5,
Absolutely.
but
I agree.
they missed that up there.
They missed
They
the boat
did.
on that one.
And yeah, I don't think it looks good either. Like you said, McDonald's burger
No.
box,
Those burger box.
and that's coming from someone who likes the red and black color scheme.
I mean, it does look. The color scheme, I will say, looks nice, but the
Yeah.
shape of it. Again, it can be used as a coaster.
Why?
What is it with Nintendo and making
Expensive
consoles out of
coasters. That's what Nintendo stands for. We
No.
make expensive coasters.
And coasters, for goodness sake.
I shouldn't be laughing that much. Let's stick with the Wii brand and say, I don't know, where would you put
Yeah.
the Wii U?
I'd put it as C tier. The reason is, the idea was there. The actual design of the Wii U gamepad was nice.
It did.
fitted
It was
in your
nice
hands.
and chunky, and you
control
felt
scheme
like it
fine.
was like a piece of kit. It's like you could murder someone with it.
Of it. Yeah,
You know, it was,
exactly.
and it wouldn't
But-
break.
I agree. But the problem is, it didn't actually have the
Yeah, it
games
didn't
there
have the
to
games, and
support it.
Nintendo was lazy with it, and so it was like,
Yeah. I mean,
do you want?
the battery
Oh
life.
god, the battery life of the Wii U gamepad. Ugh.
It was awful.
Yeah, honestly, just give up at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
well.
think C tier is fair. Because the GameCube, I would argue
Yeah,
someone to the end of the earth if someone said the Wii U is better than the GameCube. Because
I wouldn't say it would be, but it's the same really as
it's in the
GameCube.
same
They were-
series where it was like it was a great idea that didn't have the software to support it.
Yeah, it did have the fans back in it.
It did have the funds back and get. I think Nintendo could have done something with it, like, but
Yeah.
then
I mean,
you can see how it led on to the Switch.
Switch. Yeah, you can definitely see
Yeah, you
that.
can. Where would you put the Switch?
Yeah. The Switch, I would say, I don't know if I'd put it in S tier. I mean, you could.
Yeah, I think more A tier really because it's got a lot of issues with the
Yeah,
hardware. It's quite a fragile
And
machine.
Connectivity.
Yeah,
problem.
I had a problem
Yeah.
literally last night where my right Joy-Con wouldn't connect on its side. It only wanted to be in a pair. And that's shut down our entire
Wow.
idea. We were going to do a massive like Animal Crossing session and we just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I've heard of problems of people with it and just slightly tapping it on the floor and it breaks.
yeah.
But then again, if you put it down flat, You can use it as a
Oh,
coaster.
for God's sake, not another coaster!
What is it with Nintendo?
Like I said, expensive coasters.
God. I mean, if you put the Wii U gamepad
Boom,
flat,
coaster!
or even the actual Wii U, you can use them as coasters.
Might be a better use of the gamepad, really. You don't have to worry about charging it.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, you might as well have the little like display. You have a little
Yeah,
party.
you
in
know,
the
you could
coaster.
watch like YouTube on it while you're chilling with your drink, you know? It's the
Yeah.
worst possible way of watching YouTube while holding a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the Switch in A tier.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about this one, actually, because this is really niche.
Oh,
But the
yeah, I've definitely heard
IQ
of that
player,
one. It was Japan
it was
only.
Chinese only.
It was
Chinese
Chinese
only,
only? I thought it
because
was
it was
Japan.
there because they couldn't sell actual consoles in there.
Oh yeah.
So it was essentially an N64
Oh,
and
yeah.
a controller.
Yeah. It was really. It was a great idea, but the problem was you couldn't add any games to it. There was only a set
Yeah, you
number
had
of games.
very limited storage, and you had to take the game card to a kiosk to get more games, and it's weird.
Yeah. It was almost like the Pokemon Snap
It
machine
was
in
like the
N64.
Pokemon stat machines. That's I didn't think of that. But that's kind of cool, actually. I'm thinking C tier
Yeah.
for this one.
C tier, I'd say, because the idea was there, and I can see people loving it. And Nintendo's never done something like that, and they never have.
Yeah, it was
before.
essentially Nintendo's plug and play console.
Yeah.
So
Also, talking about Switch being indestructible, Nintendo do have a reputation for making things indestructible. I mean, look at the original Game Boy.
yeah.
That survived a bombing attack and still works.
Have you seen Plain Rock 124's video where he tried to break the original NES Mini?
So yeah,
That took
oh,
like
yeah.
multiple rocks.
Oh, it's quite funny, honestly, how indestructible
Yeah.
that thing is. It's
It
made to
is.
laugh.
So, where would I put the NES Mini?
I would say it's a NES,
NES
Mini because they were great.
They were
designs.
great designs. It was an excellent idea by Nintendo.
But the problem was it was only had. They literally just shut it
Yeah,
off
it
at
just
one point, and
stopped.
you could never buy them ever again.
Although they kind of came back for a little bit, and then they disappeared again, and I still haven't got one.
Neither have I.
I'm gonna stick it
I
in B
played
tier.
them.
I think it's on the same level as the GameCube.
I'd say it's definitely the same tier as
GameCube.
I mean, to be fair, it did have save slots. You could skip back.
Yeah, it was
on
great.
stuff.
It was like the Virtual Console, but in a box.
Yeah. I mean, it's what all modders wanted.
It
to
was,
have.
and you could like plug it into
legally.
the back of like with the cable that they use to charge it, and you could add more onto it.
Yeah.
So
I
it was
agree.
just cool. Even if Nintendo didn't, Nintendo should have released game packs on their website where you're like plug your thing in and pay us like £5.99 and we'll give you more games. Nintendo should have done
Yeah.
that.
I mean, they should have. I mean, they're barely releasing any games on their actual
Yeah, on the
virtual
Switch.
consoles.
Like, what did we get last time? Like Donkey Kong Adventure
We've
and
only
Golf.
Yeah, we've only just got all the playback features on there.
Really?
I mean,
Only just?
yeah, we've only
Oh.
recent. I mean, that's only not in the past year or so. We've only got them.
Jesus Christ, this is why I don't play retro games on my Switch. This is why I keep
Yeah.
my 3DS around.
I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, that thing's nearly 11 years old. The original
Yeah,
one.
I've got the new Nintendo 3DS.
As much as everybody hated that one, I thought that was pretty good as a design because, I mean, the newer ones were
Yeah,
better.
they were.
They grew up.
But like, I don't know. We should do a tier list on the handhelds. We should do that.
handhelds.
But
Yeah.
speaking of handhelds, where'd you put the SNES minis?
SNES minis, I'd say I put them in B tier as
Yeah,
well.
I think they're pretty much
More or less
the same like thing. Because I own the European version of the SNES Mini.
Except you can't. Oh wow. Except you can't use
You
them as
can't
coasters.
use them as coasters; they're too small.
And they've got a bumpy
They
design.
do, or at least the American version does.
Yeah.
But you know what you could use as the coaster?
Very true.
The N64.
The N64. Yes. Oh, that was a great system.
Ocarina of
It made the jump to 3D.
That Ocarina of Time. Super Mario 64.
Majora's
Yeah.
Mask. Pilot Wing 64. Star Fox 64. Let me think. The original Animal Crossing that was
Animal
supposed to go on there,
Forest.
but never did.
Man. That started
great.
so much. I blame that game for my 7-year addiction to New Leaf.
I imagine so. Oh, and not speaking about Banjo-Kazooie.
Yes.
One of the best
We
high-rated
had
games
Banjo-Tooie
of all
and
time.
Banjo-Kazooie on the same console. Killer.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you zoned out for a second there. You paused. You froze.
It's okay, I'll fix it in post.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's fine.
where do we put the N64?
N64, it was a masterpiece. It was one of the most powerful. I've heard apparently it was more powerful than the PS.
Yeah, it was
One.
double the power of the PS1. I think it had one
Yeah,
flaw,
I'd say.
and that was it used cartridges.
Yeah, that was the only thing that held it back. But that was Nintendo who wanted to keep going to the past. They didn't know until the what
They didn't use
GameCube.
They didn't use full DVDs till we got to the Wii.
Oh yeah, that took.
That's
a
like
long
what, 2
time.
generations behind?
Yeah. But the good thing about using cartridges, they're less easy
Break.
to
And
duplicate.
duplicate, yeah.
Break.
So I can see what they did, but I still want to put it in S tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the controller. It might not be the first one to ever use joysticks, but
The
it was
first one
definitely
to get it right.
one that had. Yeah, but it hadn't done it in a. But to be fair, they hadn't done it in a long while since like what, the Atari.
Yeah, the first
ones
time
did
that
it.
have you ever used an original Atari controller?
No, but I've used one of the reformed
Yeah,
versions.
they're horrible. They're super stiff.
I know
They would have got
are.
slagged if they came out these days.
Oh, they would have been snapped in
They
half.
would have been. People would have
I mean,
been
you could have used
mad.
them. You could have used them as coasters.
If you break the handle off, yeah.
Yeah. I imagine so. Yeah.
Where do we put the Japanese version
Ooh,
of
that's-
the mini consoles, though?
Well, I mean the Japanese. Well, I mean the original one. The original one and the Japanese and the mini one. I'd say they still had the personality of themselves.
Yeah, they were definitely their own thing because, I mean, who makes their controllers after the colour of the CEO's scarf? You know?
Yeah. Be fair. And I mean, it's inbuilt into the system.
You can't lose
so
them.
You're never gonna lose it. Yeah. And it was never a
It
plug
wasn't
and play.
a plug and play,
That's the one thing.
which is quite...
I mean, from a company who makes what toys, claw machine toys, to making a full console, it's quite a jump, and they did an amazing job.
They
at that time.
revolutionised the market when that came out.
Oh, they did. I'd say put them in like what
A tier?
A tier or S. A tier.
I'm gonna
S
put
tier.
the
I'd say
original
A tier.
in
Eh, S tier.
I'm gonna put the original in S tier and the mini in A tier.
Yeah, I'd say that.
So that's the tier list.
Yeah, I'd say that. That is every console. Next time, let's go over portable consoles. Because I mean, what? They've got a long history going
Game
through
Boy,
that.
DS, Game and Watch. Yeah, we're gonna have to go over that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go. I mean, that's not including the what controllers or add-ons.
Yeah, like so many flipping add-ons.
Oh, it's quite interesting. It's funny.
Okay, you'll have to come back to the channel for that then, dude.
Oh, I will. I'll return from the void.